Good morning, everyone. So, welcome back. The previous chapter we have concluded about the one related to food security. Then after that, this is the last to conclude in this geography part related to one sustainable development with equity. So first, let you know before we talk about this sustainable development with equity. First, let you know these three things. What is that first? What we call sustainable. Sustainable means how to survive with making usage of all the resources which we get through nature, like land, water, minerals and ores. So not only making use for particular era, even after generation to generation, how to make usage of natural resources, not only accomplishing in this present scenario but even for the future, how to make use. That is what we call sustainable. Next one is development. Development in the sense nothing but what we call progress, like how the things are going to develop from bicycle to bike to car, some progress whatever we see in all round developments, whatever the people are calculating, like graphically if you see that 0 to 100%, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So these are what we can consider as development. And equity is nothing but equal fair of share. That means things whatever we have to share impartially to all equally. Partiality should not be shown in sharing resources or anything what we make clear clarity, like what we call equality. Status, like balancing should be equal, otherwise equality, balancing should not be ups and down, it should be equal. That is what we call equity. So coming to the point here, looking at development again, what are the developments we are going to see? The first, let you know about the one what we call HDI. HDI indicates Human Development Index. Human Development Index. In this, what we have to understand means development have to start for the humans. How the development can be seen towards humans. That is what it says, Human Development Index. What type of development? Any type of development, like cities to town, like village to town, town to city. So like gradual growth in all aspects. How the things are going to be changed. Development as what we see. In the initial stage he is having only bicycle, now he got bike. Development. From bike to car, development. Progress. So such type of progress which is needed for human beings. That is what we call development. So development in what we have to see, like especially the one what we called health, education, literacy, infant mortality. So when we talk about the first what is there for the human development means the person whoever they engage in any work, how he should be means healthy. Health is wealth. If we are not feeling well, you can't do any work in three sectors like primary, secondary or services. So the first and foremost priority what we have to do is that health. And not only that, education. People should be educated. They have to know in what manner they are able to do the things as per the requirements. Literacy. A person who can able to read and write in any language, whether it is Telugu, Urdu, Hindi, or any other languages. According to our Indian constitution, there are 22 languages statutory. So, in any language, a person can able to read and write. That all what it describes regarding the one called literacy. And he should have completed 7 years of age. That's what we call literacy. Next, infant mortality. Infant mortality means infant, a newly born baby, 0 to 5 years. How far they are able to survive, whether they are dying earlier based upon the food what they take, as previously what we have discussed in food security. So all these are only ultimately showing to the one what we call HDI, nothing but Human Development Index. What it indicates clearly, the one word what we call HDI, Human Development Index. All these together have to lead to development. In all aspects, generally what we see, growth. A newly born child is there. If he is not growing, there is no development, means parents feel a lot. As per the age they have to grow, then that will be suitable, then that will be happy. Like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6, all these years are passing but there is no growth. Definitely parents will feel a lot. So development is ultimately required here. So like how parents are seeing a child to make his progress, even country also need the same to have such type of development. Economically, the economists what they suggest. That what this is here, the one. And next, coming to the one what we call GDP. In previous topic we have already discussed. Its expansion form is gross domestic product. The definition is the final value of goods and services produced in a country during particular period of time. In a year, whatever they are able to produce the goods and services, total value which can be calculated, total value of goods and services, of goods and services. So such type of one, what it indicates, the word called GDP, gross domestic product. The economists always, as we see at the time of budget session, what was the GDP growth? Recently, Nirmala Sitharaman, the Union Finance Minister of our country, she introduced the budget. What was the GDP growth rate? So, all these are the things which makes development. And here, as you know that in our country, 90% of the people are in only unorganized sector. Just only 10% are there in organized. What it makes us clearly how these things can be molded and how to uplift. So, to make you clear, involvement of HDI, GDP, like health, education, social, economic indicators, how they are supporting what we are finding in the society, how the people are there. These all things now let you know with this one information that you can get clearly. What is that here? If you see this triangular graph, if you look at this, below 1.5 lakhs, they are only what we call deprived group. 1.5 to 3.4 lakhs, which comes under the aspires. 3.4 to 17 lakhs, which comes under the middle class. And above 17 lakhs comes under the rich categorization, that is only 3 million. So here, let you have a clear idea regarding this deprived group. So 135 million households are only there in this deprived one. Deprived in the sense, like daily wage workers. Like these people are getting their wages per day or weekly. Per day they may receive the wages, or weekly they may receive the wages. Such group is nothing but what we call deprived, and you have to notice that is around about 135 million people are there in this. So coming to the next, what we call it as aspires group. These are the groups where the people are getting monthly salaries. Monthly salaries, whoever they are getting, such group are around about 71 million people. They are called as aspires. And coming to the next, what is that called? Middle class. Around about 31 million people are there, and these middle class people, like, to make you clear, both wife and husband are going to be engaged in government sector. Wife will have the government job, husband will have the government job. Or in a family, number of members who are going to be secure more job, that was only the one what we call middle class. I want to make you clear once again, deprived is nothing but wages one who earn. Aspects are only the salary based, and here both are going to be earned income in the family. That is what we call middle class. And do you notice that rich are only 3 millions, and according to 2010 census, the total number of population in our country around about 1200 crores. 1200 crores according to 2010 census population, but in that just only 3 millions are rich. So that ultimately shows what means majority of the people are in deprived. So due to that, what we call 90% are in unorganized only. Only few are the millionaires, billionaires, but remaining all maximum people are only deprived one. This is what it makes us clearly how these developments which we look after, and how can we know these, and how we notice that what it describes. Coming to the next, after a conclusion of this, now we are connected with one what we call environment and development. Environment, basically, to make you clear, a surrounding or a place wherever we live. School environment, hospital environment, college environment, office environment. It's a place where we are living. So in this regard, land, water, minerals and ores, all these are only gift of nature, natural resources. That makes here to compare between development and as well as environment. So to let you know about these two differences, these are the three as we have already known and learned in previous class. What is that called? Primary, secondary, service. Primary is nothing but related to agriculture. Secondary is nothing but industries. Service is nothing but whatever the service. And in this, what you have to notice means, as you know that production depends upon factors of production. Suppose if you take agriculture, agriculture means what? Cultivation. How this cultivation? Human power was induced in that. Like whatever we are making a production, like 30 to 60 days or 60 to 90 days, whatever the crop, when you put on the seed, when it have to grow, one person have to check that. And what is a good crop and what is a bad, and in which what is how the crop should be protected. Not only the involvement of the nature like land, but human involvement is also there in each and every aspect. If you see, as I earlier said in the previous topic what we discussed, production depends upon factors of production. Factors of production nothing but what again? Land, labor, capital, organization, technology. So one to another, like chain system or link system which are connected, then only that what we can make. To make you notice, for example, land is there, no labor. Can you make agriculture? No way. Land is there, labor is there. You don't have capital. Can you make any industry? No way. Land, labor, capital is there. Without organizer, can you make any construction? It's highly impossible. So what I mean to say is that these all are the factors which are very essential and mandatory. It's compulsory. Land, labor, capital, organization, technology. So in any field, if you see, these are the things which are involved, and how we can make the development, how the progress we can see. Nowadays, agriculture system has changed, like manpower to machine power, cutting, harvesting, threshing, packaging, we are seeing only machine works. Requirement of farmers' requirement is less. That was replaced with the machine. So like nowadays we use tractors, threshers. All these are the machinery making agricultural work easy. So in these three aspects, what we have to notice, how can we make environment to be safe? But various problems we are facing. Like if you talk about primary, agriculture, fishing, mining, quarrying. So all these are only the environment. Like unless and until when you dig, when you lift up the course, then human power is involved over there in that. With which what happened? What the environment is going to get, how it is going to get spoiled. These things we have to be noticed there. So in such a manner, what are the things, especially the one what we call deforestation? What is deforestation? Deforestation is nothing but cutting of trees and plants. And these, whatever they are cutting, such type of, especially the word what we find over here, deforestation. Deforestation. So as you know that forests are very essential for us. It gives us rains, we get multi requirements which are related to like honey, gum, like bamboo, teakwood, rosewood, mahogany, ebony. Like if you go on say various, but these what happened? They are completely cutting off that. And the same land they are using for zooming cultivation, shifting cultivation. The same land is used for industrial purpose. They are making the land to be vacant, and sometimes even they are making as cricket ground, and when people are getting holidays or like summer or the other time they are going and playing cricket there. So what I mean to say is that the layers which are there, that was getting spoiled, and even some cases like burning of that. And even some, if you go to villages and if you see in such places, they are digging and keeping the dead bodies of animals. So these all are the forest area, and the same piece of land they are making usage for agriculture. So all these are only the things what they are making, how this land is going to get spoiled. That is nothing but related to environment and development. That is our dire necessity. Our ecological balance is getting imbalanced. I repeat, our ecological balance is getting imbalanced. That all what it says is especially related to one, environment and development. So in this regard, how these are taken part, let you know one illustration that is related to motor bobbing. Like usually, generally what we do every day, we use water in our daily life. Like related to syntax or tanks, whatever you can say that, we fill that water. Morning, like what we called 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like when we wake up to when we go to bed, what we make usage means water for various purposes. First, what we'll do means we fill the water. Where we fill means in syntax or tanks, and we use the same water for cooking, washing, drinking, bathing, etc. etc. So all these are the things what we use. So in the same manner here, motor bobbing in those days with electricity. Previously they introduced the one what we called Persian wheel, but anyway one or the other way there in this motor bobbing, what was the thing means they started doing agriculture. Irrigation is nothing but artificial supply of water. In this artificial supply of water, with irrigation there are the three sources: wells, canals, tanks. In that wells, open wells, tube wells. Irrigation consisting of three sources. What I want to make you to show you the sources. One is canals, the other one is tanks, the other one is wells. So these wells are again of two types: open well, tube wells. open wells, tube wells. So, in this regard, Motappavi, they used to make agriculture around about 2 to 3 acres with using of open wells. Like quarrying, mining, debris, the land which will get very hard. So at that time, what we need means, we need the one, when ground level water is reducing, we need the one what we call recharge. To make you clear, one simple example, recharge means, like if you take the mobile, whether you are using Airtel, Jio or any other, but if the balance is accomplished, immediately what you'll do, you will make recharge. If you are not going to make recharge, what happens? The communication gap will be stopped. Communication gap will arise there immediately. You can't communicate. Though you have iPhone or whatever you have, that became what? At that moment useless. When it have its own accessories related to recharge, then only you can able to communicate. Like here also in the same manner, when water levels are reducing gradually, the groundwater, generally water, groundwater, what is this confusion? See, like so, if you take one open well, like we see the surface very clearly. Surface down, what is there, we can't see that. That is what we call ground. When we go and dig, as you know that Earth is a watery planet. Wherever we dig, immediately we get water. Of course, other minerals also what we get, but different places. Maximum, we get only the water. So, in this connectivity, the water levels are gradually declining. That is only because of environment effect. Then how can we make development? See, when environment is safe, then we can see the development. If the environment is in drudgery, when it is having its own impact, then how can we make this better? And because of this, people even they are not getting safe drinking water. Though they started doing recharge, in the sense nothing but digging to the origin to get the fresh water back. Such implementation is only the one how to make betterment. Such all are only the things in which nearly around about 300 districts in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Haryana, they are getting scarcity of water. In food security, we understood about starvation, want of food, but here water, chemicals, plastic. Daily we are listening the song, Swachh Bharat ka irada kar liya humne. Make the dry and wet separate, but how far we are making? We know that we are not supposed to use plastic, but we use that. So all these are making what? A great impact. But even though that water to drag, you know that what we call motor, petrol or diesel have to keep, then only that will be made. Suppose if you take bike also, if there is no fuel, the vehicle will not start. So though with all these difficulties they made all these things, but 300 districts are witnessed, they are not getting even safe drinking water. Chemicalized, using more plastic, everything ground has become deplorable. And this ozone layer which is getting effect and impact. So all these are only the things what is connected to environment and development, the first illustration that makes us clear. So what is our main motto of this means environment should be protected. Then only ultimately it leads to development. Like last year you are earning 30, next year you have to plan for 40, next year you can have 50. Then that is called development. Instead of 30, if you are going back 20, then that is not development. So when we compare this with incomes, like in the same manner, environment which are the natural, what we get like land, water, mineral, oats, this is not only for us, that is what I said sustainable, not only for present scenario, generation to generation that can be used better, that makes you a development.